Now, in the struggles that the Prophet engaged in, you also have to recognize that the Muslims who came from Mecca were indigent, and that they were in a state of war with the people of Mecca who had driven them out. They had driven them out and confiscated their property. So, in the immemorial form of Arabian raiding, they went to attack the caravans of Mecca. And after several unsuccessful tries, they encountered a large Meccan army at the Battle of Badr in 624. This became the most celebrated battle in all of the annals of Islam. It is more important as a kind of foundational event than nearly anything else. Because of that, the date of it is probably exactly accurate to year, 624. The Battle of Badr, at the battle, the Meccans had a much larger army, more than twice as large as the Muslim army, and yet the Meccans were defeated by the Muslims. It seemed that the ideological fire that the Muslims had gave them added oomph and power. It also says in the Quran that God aided you with angels fighting on your side. In any case, the extra power and force that enabled the Muslims to discomfit the Meccans and defeat them at that battle led in the following year to a rematch at Medina, where the Meccans came to attack Medina with a larger army, and the Muslims also had larger forces because more forces came out of the oasis that were defending it. And the Meccans, although they inflicted more casualties on the Muslims, did not end Islam or conquer Medina or succeed in dispersing the Muslims or ending them. So, and there is a long discourse on this second battle, which was called Uhud. There's a long discourse on that in Surah number 3, which is from verse 120 to verse 180. About 60 verses are a long discourse on the Battle of Uhud. And from that, you can see clearly how the verses relate to the battle, in fact. It's quite apparent. And then, after a hiatus of 2 years, the Meccans came again and laid siege to Medina, and were defeated in 627, and that was the end, virtually, of any attempts to conquer Medina or suppress Islam or end it. And after the Battle of Khandaq especially was humiliating to the Meccans because they were hardly defeated by any military force, and there were very few people who died in the battle, but rather a big storm came up, I believe a cold desert windstorm, and blew their tents over and made them all miserable, and so their allies deserted them, and then they too left, and that was sort of the end of the organized attempts to stop Islam.